How's it going? So we're going to read some more of The Right Danger in the German Communist Party by J.V. Stalin. This is, December 19th, 1928. We already read the first two parts of here, so we're going to read the third part. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, there it is. The problem of the German Communist Party. Is the German Communist Party to be or not to be organized and united with an iron internal discipline? That is the question, comrades. It is a question not only of the rights or of the consulators, but of the very existence of the German Communist Party. There is a German Communist Party, but alongside and within the German Communist Party, there are two forces which are disintegrating the party from within and creating a threat to its existence. They are, firstly, the right faction, who are organizing within the Communist Party a new anti-Leninist party, with its own censor and its own press organs, and who day after day are violating its discipline. There is, secondly, a group of conciliators whose vacillations are strengthening the right faction. I shall not stop to show that the right faction is breaking with Marxism-Leninism and waging a desperate struggle against the Comintern. That was shown long ago. Nor shall I stop to show that the group of consulators are violating the Sixth Congress resolution on waging a systematic fight against the rights. That too was shown long ago. The point now is that the situation in the German Communist Party cannot be tolerated any longer. The point is that to tolerate any longer an order of things in which the right poison the atmosphere with social democratic ideological rubbish and systematically violate the elementary principles of party discipline, while the consulators bring grist to the mill of the rights, would be to go against the Comintern and to violate the elementary demands of Marxist-Leninism. A situation has arisen similar to, if not worse than, the one which existed in the CPSUB. In the last phase, the struggle against Trotskyism, when the party and the Comintern were obliged to expel the Trotskyists from their ranks. Everybody sees it now, but Humbert Droz and Serra do not see it, or pretend not to see it. That means that they are prepared to support both the rights and the consulators, even at the cost of complete disintegration of the German Communist Party. In opposing the expulsion of the rights, Humbert Droz and Serra refer to the resolution of the Sixth Congress, which says that right deviations must be overcome by means of an ideological struggle. That is perfectly true. But these comrades forget that the resolutions of the Sixth Congress by no means limit the struggle of the Communist parties against the right danger to measures of an ideological order. While speaking of methods of ideological struggle against deviation from the Leninist line, the Sixth Congress of the Comintern, in its resolution on Bukharin's report, at the same time declared that, quote, far from precluding, this presumes the utmost strengthening of iron inter-party discipline, unqualified subordination of the minority to the majority, unqualified subordination of the lower bodies, as well as of party organizations, groups in parliament, groups in trade unions, the press, etc., to the leading party centrists. It is extremely strange that Humbert Droz and Serra forget this thesis of the resolution of the Sixth Congress of the Comintern. It is extremely strange that all conciliators, both those who consider themselves consulators and those who repudiate the name when pleading the Sixth Congress resolutions systematically forget this important thesis of the Communist International. What is to be done if, instead of the utmost strengthening of iron inter-party discipline, we have in the German Communist Party glaring instances of the most unceremonious violation of all discipline, both by rights and, to some extent, by some of the consulators? Can such a situation be tolerated any longer? What is to be done if, instead of unqualified subordination of the lower bodies, groups and trade unions and certain organs of the party press to the leading party center? We have in the German Communist Party glaring instances of the grossest violation of this demand of the Sixth Congress of the Comintern by the rights, and to a certain extent by some of the consulators. Can such a situation be tolerated any longer? You are familiar with the conditions for admission to the Comintern endorsed by the Second Congress. I am referring to the 21 points. The first point of these conditions says that the periodical and non-periodical press and all party publishing houses must be completely subordinated to the Central Committee of the party, irrespective of whatever at the given moment the party as a whole is legal or illegal. You know that the right faction have two press organs at their disposal. You know that those press organs refuse even to hear of any subordination to the Central Committee of the German Communist Party. The question arises, can such a scandalous state of affairs be tolerated any longer? The 12th point of the 21 conditions says that the party must be, quote, organized on the most centralized lines, end quote. That within it must, quote, prevail iron discipline bordering upon military discipline, end quote. You know that the rights in the German Communist Party refuse to recognize iron discipline, or any discipline whatever, except their own, factional discipline. The question arises, can this scandalous state of affairs be tolerated any longer? Or perhaps you will say that the conditions endorsed by the Second Congress of the Comintern are not binding on the rights. Humbert, Josef, and Sarah raise an outcry here about imaginary violators of decisions of the Communist International. At the present time, in the shape of the rights, we have real, not imaginary, violators of the fundamental principles of the Communist International. Why then do they keep silent? It is not because they want, under the guise of verbal defense of Comintern decisions, to smuggle through a defense of the rights and a revision of these decisions. Particularly interesting is Sarah's statements. He vows and swears that he is against the rights, against he conciliators, and so forth. But what conclusion does he draw from this? Is it, do you think, the necessity of fighting the rights and the conciliators? Nothing of the kind. He draws from this the extremely strange conclusion that it is necessary, in his opinion, to reorganize the existing political bureau of the Central Committee of the German Communist Party. Just think, the political bureau of the CC of the German Communist Party is waging a determined struggle against the right danger and against the vacillations of the conciliators. Sarah is in favor of a fight against the rights and the conciliators. Therefore, Sarah proposes that the rights and the conciliators should be left alone, that the fight against the rights and the conciliators should be relaxed, and that the composition of the political bureau of the CC of the German Communist Party should be altered in a conciliatory direction. What a conclusion! Sarah will pardon me if I say here, without mincing words, that his position on this question is reminiscent of that of a provincial pettifogger, who tries to make out that white is black and black white. It is that we call a pettifogging defense of opportunist elephants. Sarah proposes the political bureau of the CC of the German Communist Party should be reorganized, that is, that some members should be removed from it and others put in, that they should be replaced by others. Why does not Sarah say bluntly and frankly, replaced by whom? Sarah, quote, by those whom the Sixth Congress of the Comintern wanted, end quote. But the Sixth Congress certainly did not suggest rehabilitating conciliators. On the contrary, it charged us with waging systematic fight against conciliation. And precisely because this obligation has not been carried out by the conciliators, we have now, even after the Sixth Congress, the decision of the ECCI, Presidium of October 6, 1928, on the rights and the conciliators. Sarah wanted to assume the role of sole interpreter of the decisions of the Sixth Congress. That claim of Sarah's is entirely unwarranted. The interpreter of the decision of the Sixth Congress is the Executive Committee of the Comintern and its Presidium. I see that Sarah does not agree with the decision of the ECCI Presidium of October 6, although he has not said so plainly. What is the conclusion? There is only one conclusion. The position of Humbert, Josef, and Sarah on the question of the German Communist Party is one of craven, pettifogging defense of the rights against the German Communist Party and the Comintern. Okay, yeah. So after that, we're going to have section 4 and 5. But yeah, that was section 3. You know, that was, let's see, the problem of the German Communist Party. Okay, yeah, 1928. Y'all have a great day. You know, follow me online, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium. All of these are Marxist. So hit me up there. Y'all have a great day. Todara goy.